Did you do your fingernails? Look at that. That is just so pretty. You're just so beautiful. Look at this. Wow. What is that? Do you have a watch? Do you have a watch on? So let me see it. Let me see. Wow. Is it like Dee Dee's? We both have watches? Wow.
Gonna work.
Look at. Very pretty. Where are you going?
You're going to work.
You're going to work? You're going to work? Where do you work at? Where do you work at? Oh, okay. Good morning, everyone. What a beautiful day to be alive. Welcome to Vlogmas day number 5, I believe it is. I'm actually on my way to the gym right now. I got this cool new black shaker bottle. It's pretty cool. But on my way to the gym, gonna work out. It's very early in the morning. Well, not super early, but early for me to go to the gym. It's 10:45. Actually, I keep saying that, but honestly, I've been going to the gym earlier and earlier every single day. I kind of just enjoy getting it. I don't want to say getting it out of the way, but getting it done and then having the rest of the day to do whatever it is that I need to do. That being said, what it is that I want to do is I want to film a like a holiday themed Q&A for you guys for Vlogmas. So that'll be what the bulk of this video is. I'm gonna go to the gym and then come back and film that. So I just got to the gym and look who I see. It's my brother.
Hello.
That's a very pretty face. Look, we're wearing the same hat. He's just wearing it the cool kid way.
Yeah.
And I'm not. He's doing chest, shoulders,
And tries.
and I'm doing back, so we're not gonna be working out together. But it's always really cool to see you in the gym because like one thing about Cajon is like we used to work out together and stuff, but it wasn't until like he took it, like you had to do it yourself. Like once you started doing it yourself is when it really started working.
Yeah.
It's like once you stopped trying to like, it's not like you were ever trying to impress me, but like doing it for anybody but yourself is when it started working.
Oh yeah, I mean like, you're with yourself all the time, so you have to be able to motivate yourself. If I only work out with you, I'm only with you, we're actually not, we don't hang out that often.
I actually hate him.
Yeah, me too.
He hates himself.
That's why I'm at the gym. No, but you're always with yourself. You have to be able to motivate yourself.
Yeah, all right, I need to work out now, bye. So I know I've been talking about doing this Q&A all day, so I'm doing the Q&A now. I got my sweater with my nice Christmas shirt. This is as Christmassy as I can get. This is the most Christmas outfit that I have. And then I got myself, oh, there's a piece of hair in that. Oh, that's gross. We got a Jolly mug because it's Christmas season, so I'm trying to be as Christmassy as possible. So I asked you guys on Twitter and Instagram just some holiday questions, you know, Christmas questions that you guys had. So I'm gonna go ahead and answer them right now. How many candy canes can I fit in my mouth? I have never tried. If I had candy canes with me right now, I would absolutely shove them in my mouth. My guess is about 17,000, depending on the size. The mini candy canes, about 17,000. If they're the regular size candy canes, probably about 15,000. What is your favorite Christmas movie? This one was asked a bunch. My favorite, it's hard to say. My favorite Christmas movie, the first one that pops into my head, probably not a surprise to any of you guys, is Elf. That movie is absolutely hilarious. I love that movie so much. It's just so funny. My favorite line in the whole movie is, "You sit on a throne of lies." I say that all the time still, and it doesn't even make sense. But another one that is one of my favorites. I'm not sure if it's really, I guess it might be a Halloween movie. It could be a Christmas movie too, but it's The Nightmare Before Christmas. That movie, I used to watch it almost every day when I was in like 6th to 7th grade. I would watch that movie all the time. For one year for my birthday, I remember I asked just all for only Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. So I had a Nightmare Before Christmas watch that I wore every single day, and it was like a big thick one, so I had a huge tan line on my arm. And so that was like that was probably my favorite. I guess it's considered a Christmas movie. So that was my favorite Christmas movie as a kid, but Elf is probably definitely my favorite Christmas movie now. I love Will Ferrell. He's hilarious to me. I think he's just one of the funniest comedians ever. Step Brothers is my all-time favorite movie, so Elf is obviously makes sense that it is my favorite Christmas movie. What is my favorite Christmas song? Now that one is hard to say, but my favorite Christmas album, this one was asked too, is the Reliant K Christmas album. You guys saw a clip of it earlier in this video. I love that album. It's called, like, I think it's called Let It Snow Baby, Let It Rain Dear, like reindeer, get it? But I love that Christmas album. It's like, if you like pop punk, like from like Blink-182, like the mid 2000s, like 2005, 2007. I think the album was made in 2006. It's really, really good. It's really fun to listen to. I listened to it pretty much all of December. I was listening to it when I was working out today. It's really, really fun. You should listen to it, and if you don't, I'll fight you. Not really. what was my favorite holiday or Christmas gift that I received when I was a kid? So this is kind of a cool story. So one year when I was living not at this house, at a different house, it was right when the Xbox came out. So the Nintendo 64 was still pretty popular. Like, there were still games that were made for it and all this stuff. There's a reason I'm telling you this. But the Xbox had just come out maybe like a few months before that, right? And in my family, we've always been, like, I guess you could call it lower income. So we didn't get the new game system, new toys when they came out. We always waited a few years until, because you know how the price usually will drop. So me and my brother figured that's what was gonna happen. We weren't even expecting anything like that, right? So I remember we were opening presents. And I remember something that we asked our mom for, me and my brother wore. We said, hey, can you get us new remote, like, controllers for the Nintendo 64, because ours were like breaking and they were just, you know how they used to be, they would just break all the time. So I remember we both opened a gift, and it was one controller. We opened it and it was an Xbox controller. And I remember my mom was like, that's the one that you have, right? And we're like, no, we have the Nintendo 64. She's like, oh, okay, I'll take it back. And we're like, okay, that's fine. Because the reason we only need one was because we had a good controller. So we were like, okay, that's fine, you know. But then, so we were done opening presents, and it was about 5 minutes after we were done opening presents, and my mom like looks at the tree, and she kind of looks like under the tree, and she says, hey, I think, is there a present under there? And me and my brother were like, yeah. And then so we went over it, and it said to both of us, John David and John. So we opened it, and it was an Xbox, and she was like, and we were like, you got us. She was like, you think I would really get you the wrong controller? And we were like, we don't know your mom, you might be wrong. But that's probably my favorite like gift or like memory that I can really remember. Not because like the Xbox was so cool, obviously it was awesome to us, we were like super stoked, but it was just like how that happened. It was such a Christmas story, you know. Do you open Christmas gifts on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day? We have always opened Christmas gifts on Christmas Day. I don't really get why people open them on Christmas Eve. I guess at midnight that makes sense, but I've always been a kid that, and I guess I'm not a kid anymore, a man or person that really was excited about waking up on Christmas Day and opening the gifts. Like, that was super exciting. You wake up and you run, not downstairs, but to the living room, and you look at the presents, because usually my family, we would procrastinate and not wrap the presents until the night, you know, Christmas Eve night. So we didn't know how many presents are going to be down there, and then we run down there and there's a bunch of presents, and it's just like the best feeling ever. So that's why I've always opened presents on Christmas Day. I've never opened them on Christmas Eve. Favorite Christmas memory. So this one's kind of similar to the favorite Christmas gift, but it's a little bit different. So I've talked about how my family has always been kind of lower income. We haven't had that much money. So there was a couple times when Christmas didn't seem like it was gonna happen. It just didn't seem like there was gonna be any way that we were gonna be able to get money or get gifts or anything, which is fine. Like, we weren't worried about it. But there was one year where we had basically no presents under the tree, and we had always been like affiliated. Me and my brother and my sister, we're all kind of close in age. We always went to this after school program called Sunshine Club. Basically, it was like an organization that was ran by churches, and it was like after school for kids. Like, my mom would work late, so we had to go there after school, and then she would be able to pick us up from there. So we had always been affiliated with them and like knew who they were. They knew who we were. They always took care of us. And this year, so we didn't have any presents under the tree. And I remember, I think it was like Christmas Eve or the day before Christmas Eve or something like that. It was like really, really close to Christmas. And my mom had kind of told us, like, you guys, you know, you're gonna have a couple presents, but trust me, it's nothing to be like super excited about. Like, I'm sorry, I can't really afford that much this year. And we were like, that's fine, like, don't even worry about it. So we ended up like opening the presents that we had, and we were really, you know, we were excited, but it was like, you know, it was Christmas, and we were done opening the presents, and then it was like, I forget how many, like maybe 30, it was a long time ago, but a little bit after we were done opening presents, we heard a knock at the door, and it's the people from Sunshine Haven, and they just come bringing in gifts. Like, it was crazy how many presents they had, and they just kept bringing them in until our whole like living room was almost full of presents. And like, the presents weren't even anything crazy. Like, there were socks and like board games and stuff, but as a kid, like, it is one of the best feelings just looking at presents and being able to rip them open on Christmas. So it was definitely like that. I will never forget that Christmas and what they did, and it was just really, really nice of them, and I'll always remember that. And it was just, yeah, that was really, really cool. A ton of people have been asking me what I want for Christmas this year. I haven't really even thought about it, honestly. I don't really know. Like, the only thing I can think of that I've really been like getting into a little bit more recently is just like kind of like clothes. So like, that's what I'm not, this is gonna be the first year that I'm actually not gonna be with my family on Christmas Day. I'm actually gonna be going up to visit Jesse's family, and she's gonna be with her family. We're gonna be up there together, and her mom and dad were like, John, you have to tell us that you want, you have to tell us something that you want, because we don't want to be opening gifts and not not have anything. So I thought about it for a while and I couldn't really think about it, and then I was just like, you know what, just like clothes would be cool. You know, I would enjoy clothes. And then obviously she said, like, Jessie said that, you know, my mom and dad can like let me know what what they think about getting me, and because she knows what I wear, she basically dresses me. So that's probably what I would want, is clothes. Nothing crazy. I'm very blessed to say that I have pretty much everything that I need. So anything else that I get is just kind of gravy. It's just extra. It's just the cherry on top. Nothing. I don't need anything. So I'm very lucky to say that. So this is a question that has been asked a ton. It was asked the most out of any of these questions. It's actually a question that I answered in a video like by itself, but I'll answer it right here too as well. Why not do it? There's no reason not to. So the question is, how do I not gain weight, or how do I continue losing weight? How do I stay on track during the holidays, during Christmas and stuff like that? So my biggest tip for this, or biggest couple tips, so the thing that I do is I make sure, so if it's gonna be Christmas Day or Thanksgiving, or if it's a day where you know you're gonna be with your family and you know you're gonna be eating, like you know that there's a party planned or something, what I will do is I'll make sure I'll try and eat I don't want this to sound bad, but like the least amount of calories. So if I can maybe go with like only a protein shake in the morning, just so I know that I've saved most of my calories for that dinner or for that party, so I'm not stressing over eating at the party. And then obviously at the party, make sure, or wherever it is, whatever gathering it is, make sure you drink a ton of water, so you're not just like eating because you feel like you're hungry. You know, drink a ton of water, as much water as you possibly can. Don't be afraid to indulge a little bit, because there's nothing wrong with having one slice of pie. You know, there's nothing wrong with having one slice of cake. It's when you have 7 or 8 or 9 is when it can get really bad. So indulge a little bit, but understand what your goals are. And there's nothing wrong with eating a little bit of food. You have to understand that. But another tip that I have also is, don't feel down on yourself the next day. Just understand that, you know, that was, you know, part of your life. You wanted to have fun with your friends. That's okay. And then the next day kind of move on from it. It's with stuff like this, it's much more mental than I think anything. If you're mentally ready to accept that, you know, oh, that was a little bit hard, but I've moved on from it, then you'll be in a lot better place than if you kind of just dwell on it and dwell on it and dwell on it. So just make sure you're not dwelling on it too much. Make sure you don't eat too much that morning. Drink a lot of water. Those are my main tips for that. This is a funny question. So it's what is your favorite holiday cookie? So I guess it's holiday cookie, but it's just pretty much, it's a cookie that you can get all year round, but you can get them in America. You can get these, and I'm not sure if they're popular anywhere else, but there's just like regular sugar cookies, I think, and then on top of them is like a frosting, and then normally there'll be like sprinkles on top of the frosting. So the sugar cookie that's on the bottom is usually pretty cakey. It's not a very like crunchy cookie. It's a very like cakey, soft cookie, and then on top of it, the frosting is very like soft and like cakey as well, and then there's sprinkles on top of that. I know it sounds terrible for you, and I'm sure it really is, but it is so good. Like when I used to go shopping with my mom when I was a kid at the grocery store, they used to do this thing at, like, they still do it, but when I was a kid, this is when I would get it. You can go, if you go into the grocery stores and you're a kid, you can ask for like a free cookie, basically like a sample cookie at like the deli place or like the bakery place. You can ask them, hey, can I have a free cookie? And they would always give it to you. And whenever we would have those cookies, I was the most excited, and I'm still excited talking about them because they're so good. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know how good they are. And if you've never tried them, go and buy a whole batch of them and eat them all. Don't really do that, but they're super good, so you should try them out. So this is kind of two questions that I'm gonna lump into one. So people have been asking me, what's my favorite snack and like cheat thing during the holidays? And then another one is, what's like your favorite family tradition that you guys do? So this is kind of both of those in one. So my mom, this is why it's a tradition. My mom every single year makes this stuff. It's called crack, and she thinks she's hilarious because she makes it and then she'll say, I'm selling dime bags of crack. I'm selling like 20 sacks of crack. She thinks she's really funny, like she's a drug dealer. Back in the day, she used to be a drug dealer. She's not a drug dealer anymore, but with this stuff, she calls it crack and she acts like she's a drug dealer. It's really funny. But what it is, it's really good. It might sound, okay, the consistency is very similar to like, it's hard to explain. It's like a brittle, like a peanut brittle kind of, but it's not peanut brittle at all. So what it is, the main thing that it is it's saltine crackers, and then it has like caramel, no, is it caramel? Is it nougat? I think it's like nougat or something like that, or caramel on top of that, and then it has chocolate, and then it's like sprinkled with like mint or peppermint, like candy cane stuff, right? It's sprinkled on top, so it's like So it's saltines, caramel, chocolate, and then the sprinkled peppermint and candy canes or whatever you want to call it. It is so good. And then the reason it's called crack is because you make it, it's like super hot, you throw it in the fridge, and then you take it out, and then it's like one hard piece of like rock, you know what I mean? And then you grab like a hammer or like a mallet and you crack it. So you hit it with like a mallet and then it cracks into pieces, and they're all different sizes, and then you just throw it in the bag. And my mom used to do it for free, but now people love it so much that she'll be making it. She's making it all the time. Right now she's making a bunch of it, literally right this second. So it's just, that's probably my favorite like holiday tradition, and definitely I can eat way too much of that stuff. And I remember the first time she made it, I ate because it's a very recent, like it started like maybe 5 years ago or 4 years ago. What is crack, Mom?
Well, crack is a highly addictive something that I make at Christmas, and everybody really loves it. So this year I thought, I'm gonna sell crack for Christmas.
Drug dealer. Show, what does it look like?
I used to know how to do that, but this is crack. It comes in decorative tins.
Okay, what is it?
It's crackers, butter, and brown sugar, which makes caramel, chocolate chips, and peppermint pieces on the top, and it is delicious.
It's not
focusing. It's very light. It doesn't like get stuck in your teeth, and it's homemade, and it's yummy goodness.
They asked what like is your favorite treat and then your favorite family like tradition, and I said crack is probably both of those.
Crack! Family crack.
Really, really good question. So someone said, do you ever get comments of like people during the holidays that look at you if you're holding like a piece of cake or something like that, and they look at you and they say, are you gonna eat any of that? And like, what do you do to them? Usually what I'll do is I'll punch them right in the face and then knee them in the stomach. No, I'm just kidding. So normally I'll just like be like, yes, I absolutely am. And then I put it in my mouth and stare at them as I chew it. Because like people, they don't understand. A lot of people, because people don't understand if they've never been on like a weight loss journey, how much like that, how annoying that can be, and how like just like, okay, I've heard it a million times, you know, you don't need to say it to me, I've heard it from a million people, I get it, like, yeah, you don't think I should eat this, but people, usually it's like they're not trying to do it in any, they don't have any ill will, like they're not trying to annoy you. Well, sometimes they might be, and I totally get that, especially if it's family, they probably are trying to annoy you, but honestly, you just kind of have to let it slide off your back, because you're gonna get those comments, especially if you, like for me, I get those comments everywhere I go. Every time I go out to eat with anybody that's like not around me all the time, you know, people that are around me all the time understand how I eat, and they see that I don't gain weight, so they're not worried about it, but people that might have seen like my journey on Instagram or like YouTube or kind of know me but don't really hang out around me that much, they will make that comment every single time I go out to eat with them. You just have to understand that they're just dummies and they don't understand, and they don't get how much that might, like how annoying that might be to you. You just have to get over it and just kind of move on. So I just realized that I've been talking forever, so that's gonna conclude today's video and today's Q&A. I want to say thank you guys so much for all your positive support and everything. You guys are amazing. Thanks for asking the questions, and I really hope that you guys have a great holiday season and that this Vlogmas has been cool for you. We got more coming up, don't worry. I'm filming every single day, so I'm really excited. Oh, one thing that I wanted to say, if you have any ideas of what I should film, or you know, any ideas of videos that I can make for Vlogmas, please leave it down in the comment section down below. You know, a video every day, I don't want to make them too boring, so I'm trying to bring as like much variety as I can. I have a couple ideas, but I would love to do stuff that you guys want to see, because that's the reason I'm making these videos. So yeah, that would be awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. There was one other thing that I wanted to say. Oh yeah, look how buff I am.